You're live on YouTube.
Toda ba Chief Rabbi Pinchas. Shalom lekulam. Kavarim and our followers at the different platform. Greetings to us on the platform and our subscribers outside there. Welcome to our weekly Limud Riazi program. This is the last week before we cross on the other side of the new year, according to our calendar. Next week, Bishara Dishimaya, we are in the new year, but this requires welcome, Lekulam.
Shalom, Avinu.
Shalom, Sadeket Miriam. This requires a reflection. One of those reflection is it's about the gates in our world on this level of existence. Everything that in every area, in every stage, in every level, requires you to go out of the familiar world. And the gate has to be open for you, for me, in order to pass, in order to go to the other side. Could it be the office? Could it be of anything? Now the question is, what makes a human being to come up with these things? Is it really human being, or we are reflecting something? No, the Torah tells us. The Torah tells us that everything that is observed here has got its resemblance in those higher dimensions that we don't see with our naked eyes, but our neshamot do see. So other sages, not other sages, so the sages went on to say, do you want to see how the upper dimensions work? Then you have to look at what the kingdom of man does. Having said that, another reflection. What gives you a merit? Or what card do you have? What ticket do you have to pass? Because the judge is now about to be proclaimed as a judge. Not a judge, but a king. Pardon me. And it's not only about who will be crossing on the other side, but also from the other side to different levels. Many people think that, oh no, when things are saying, or they are hearing this type of things, the most thing they come to their mind is, oh no, I'm going to die. And the fear of this thing called death, Chash v'shalom. No, from us, Nusach Afrik, we are saying that is just a transition. It's about going to the other side. Forget about the things that they have told us. They have told us these things, no. All of these purgatories, doctrines, in order to fear them, and once you are in such a fear, you are not yourself. You are not reasoning, and you are not yourself, and you are vulnerable to be made a slave. The Torah tells us, fear not my servant Yaakov. If it is at the level of Yaakov, how much more when it comes to the level of Israel? Okay. I wanted to start with our limud, Sherad Shmaya, with a small quotation of Tehillim. And it's about repentance, teshuvah. And this Tehillim, it goes, is Tehillim 25. And the Pasuk 8. It reads as follows. Tov ve'ashar Adonai al ken yoreh chataim badrech. Good and upright is Hashem. And therefore, does he instruct sinners in the way? What is that way? Now, in the book of in the Bereshit, the first word of the first verse of the first chapter of the first book called Bereshit consists of 6 letters. And the word Yashar, the letters of the word Yashar is hidden in that very word called Bereshit. So in other words, like our sages have said, the entire book of Bereshit is about you being Yashar, upright. Me being to be Yashar, upright person. That's it. Our society, when we look at our society, our respective societies, do they reflect that in your personal individual life? When you make any introspection, do you see yourself, do I see myself in that aspect called Yashar? We can also turn this to 3 letters to spell the word Shir. And the Shir is translated as a song. What kind of a song do you sing on a daily basis? What kind of a song you and I sing on a daily basis? There is much to tell. And that's just that word that spells the word upright. Let's go. Our Pasha is Nitzavim. And I'm going to Midrash Tanhuma. Yeah, the first Siman. It's a very long one. But Bisharat Ishmael, we have wasted much of time already. We may not be finishing it, but Bisharat Ishmael, we will see. Without burdening my master there on to wait, he waited that too long already.
And feel free, you have your time. The night is yours.
Baruch Hashem Baruch. Okay. There, the Midrash goes as follows. Atem nitzavim hayom. Okay. What does it say? This is the most pasuk that people really neglected to see the depth of it. They just talk. Okay, talk. You are standing here today That's what it means. You are standing here today. What does that mean? And the way did they stand? Okay. Let's go, and we will come back to the beginning of that pasuk. Zeshi Amar, Akatuv, Apoch Reshaim, Ve'enam. See, now here, talk about Reshaim. Uveit Tzadikim Ya'amod. And this is based in Mishlei, chapter 12, and the pasuk 7. What does it say? What did we read before? The wicked are overturned and are no more. But wait a second. Do we really praying for the destruction of the wicked? I don't know. But the question will be answered in a few minutes. But the house of the righteous shall stand. The house. And when it says house, it's not just the literal house. It's not just the literal house. Okay. We hear. Kol ziman she'akadosh baruch hu mistakel במעשיהם של רשעים ומהפך בהם. אין להם תקומה. I wanted to finish that passage, and we will explain the best of Hashem, or translate. הפך במעשיהם של דור המבור. לא הייתה להם תקומה, שנאמר, וימח את כל היקום. בראשית, okay, בראשית 7. What does it say? Every time that the Holy One, blessed be He, looks at the works, the works of the wicked, and He turns, apech, or He reverse. Yeah, He reverse them over. There's an opinion that he examined them. There is no recovery for them. For who? The wicked? The Reshaim? All of the works? Okay, another question. You know, when you come to that, when they have invaded our respective lands, communities, custom and traditions, what did they do? They have given us the sense of guilt all the time. That's why we are going crazy all the time. In the confinement called their religions that they have established or they have imposed onto us. Yeah. He turned them. He turned over the works of the generation of the Mabul. And there was no recovery for them. The works. Yeah. not the wicked themselves, but the works. As it is stated in Bereshit chapter 7, in the Pasuk 23. Tanhuma continues, Hapach b'ma'asehem shel anshei Sidon. Again, we see it continues to tell us whose works were also overturned. In this case, he said the people of Sidon, velo haita bahem tekuma shenemar, ve'apoch et ha'arim ha'ele. We continue. Ha'ele. Apacha b'ma'asehem shel Mitzrayim. Velo haita lahem tekuma shenemar. Lo nishi'ala bahem adi echad. To do justice to the translation, it went on to say, pardon me. I don't know why my PC is going like it was going. Yeah. And he wiped out all the living things. He turned over the works of the Sodomite. And there was no recovery for them, as it is stated. And he overturns their cities. He turned over the works of the Egyptians, and there was no recovery of them, as it is stated in the book of Shemot, chapter 14, and the Pasuk 28. Tanhum continues, Ve'apacha b'ma'aseh shel Bavel, velo haita la takum shenemar. Again, the Tanhuma is continuing the list for us to enable understand or to understand. Now he gives us the list. In this case, now he said the same thing happened to the works of Babel, and there was no recovery. Shenemar, as it is written, as it is said, Ve'achriti levavel shem ushiar venin venechet. This is in Yeshayahu, chapter 14, and the verse 22. And they went on to say, Vecholo kulam amar David, Sham naflu po'ale aveni vego. Vego. Okay, Shemot. Let's go to what Shemot is saying. No, pardon me. We have read what Shemot is saying. and not so much as one of them remained. He turned over the works of Babel, and there was no recovery for them, as it is stated in Yeshayahu. And from Babel I will cut off name, remnant, offspring, and posterity. Moreover, David has said about all of them. What did David say? All of them? In Tehillim, what did David say in Tehillim? This is what he said, Tehillim 36, and the Pasuk 13. Bishara Dishma, don't get exhausted. The Tanhum is building us a point to enable us to understand where is really what is happening. In every generation, when you have got people who are going contrary to what the master of the world has said, now it becomes very tense when, for example, some people are making others to be, forcing others to be in this situation. What does the Tehillim say? Aval Israel, nofilimi ve'omidin, vecheni hu omer, ala tishmichi oiviti, li, ki, nafalti, kamti, vego. Tehillim. There the evildoers have fallen. They are thus down and they cannot rise. When Israel falls, however, it stands up, meaning it stands up again, as it is stated in Micha. People pronounce it as Mika. It's Micha, chapter 7, and the verse 8. Okay. What does Micha say? Very simple. And the Bisharat Shema, we will see what Micha is saying. Micha say, Ki ani Adonai lo shaniti vego. Let me read until I finish this one. Amar Rabbi Chanina, Bara Papa, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Me'olam lo hiketi uma veshaniti la. Aval atem bnei Yaakov lo chelitem. Chelitem. Micha is helping us to understand that very pasuk. What is Micha saying? Trying to see where Micha has left us. Oh my goodness, am I lost in my page here? Rejoice not over me. Rejoice not over me, all my enemies. When I fall, I shall rise, meaning I will shall rise again. It also said in Malachi, maybe to get things complicated. In Malachi chapter 3, verse 6, what did he say? Malachi, quote, "For I, the Lord, do not change." Oh, and you, O children of Jacob, are not destroyed. Oh, Rabbi Hanina Bar Papa said, the Holy One, blessed be he, said, I have never smitten a people and restored them. But according to Malachi, you children of Jacob are not destroyed. This is stated in Devarim chapter 32, and the Pasuk 23. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. You know, it says, for the Lord do not change. I'm sorry, I'm not putting anybody on a spot. Don't you have a thing called, don't you have a thing called Brit Hadasha, translated as the New Testament? Didn't they say, no, that is in an old, in Old Testament, we are no longer under an Old Testament, we are under a New Testament. When did Hashem change? If he said here, Tanhuma tells us here, I, the Lord, do not change. When did he change? Yeah. So what does that mean? To our world, in our respective societies, if here it says, the Lord does not change, but here you impose your things. As if you are saying, and not as if you are saying, this very word is null and void. Somewhere in the Torah it says, I believe that is in the book of Bamidbar, and I wanted to believe it's somewhere there, 29 or 20, 29 there. The Torah says, I am not a son of man. I do not change my mind. When did he change? Because in changing, you are saying the children of Israel are no longer there. It's what you are saying. Let's a little bit pause and go a little bit further than that. The children of Israel, or the children of Yaakov, you are not destroyed. Rabba Papa said, Rabba Haninas Bar Papa said, the Holy One, blessed be he, said, I have never smitten a people and restored them, but meaning according to Malachi, you children of Yaakov are not destroyed. This is stated in Devarim. What did Devarim say? Let's see what Devarim said in Ivrit. Yeah. It says, Chitza Kalin Vehen Enan Kelim Vechach Amara Knesset Israel Derech Kashto Ve'atziveni Vego. This is what it says. And in most cases, many times, I used to to quote that very pasuk. I will use up my rose on them. Whom said, to clarify, said, meaning that my arrows are used up. What does that mean? But they are not destroyed. And the soul has the assembled. Okay. And the soul has the assembly of Israel said, where did they said? In Eicha. What did they say in Eicha? Okay, let me just continue with this. He has bent his bow. He has set me as a target for the arrow. What does that mean? In Eicha. But Bishiyata Dishmaya, I'm just going according to what the text is saying. To what is the meta comparable? Baruch Hashem. Just like I have said in Hebrew, I don't know. Now the question now comes, what is this thing comparable to? To a warrior who raises up the target post and they shoot the arrows at them. What does that mean? The arrows are used up. Okay, now we have got an idea. But the post stands. Okay, what a very good analogy. Of course, it has to, Halacha said, don't say, no, I like this pasuk, and by saying I like this pasuk, you are also saying, no, I don't like the other one. No, Khalila, what I said, I take my word back. So the analogy being here is that, well, you have got somebody who is shooting the arrows there to the target until he exhausted all his arrows, but that post still stands. The post here, it refers to Bnei Israel. Last week, we have just read a very long chapter, chapter 28, a description of Bnei Israel, regardless of continent where you are, and we are, that it tells us. Now, this also reminds, let me add in passing, this This reminds me, a couple of years ago, what my master said one day. No matter how the nations of the world to get rid of Bantu Israelites, selling them as into slave trade, committing genocide throughout times for thousands of years, they will never get rid of. How do we know that? My master said, the Torah tells us that Noah had 4 sons. Why 4? I mean, why 4? Who is this for? Not that a child called Hanan, I mean Canaan or Canaan. It's counted as his. And my master went on to say, how many bread do we have in a Beit Hamikdash every day? How many rolls is being placed in the Beit HaMikdash? There are 12. Times 4? 48. And what is 48? This is the word Ham. Yeah. If you understand, you understand. You will never, yes, we have gone through ordeals. No civilization ever rose on this level of existence, number one, without getting the wisdom from the Bnei Israel. They committed genocide because they need, or they want, they lust, not that they just want. They lust for the wealth into the continent where Bnei Israel were placed. Nowadays, they wanted to say, no, the promised land. It's in America. No, it's somewhere in Europe there. But that is not what our Torah says. Our Torah says that, well, he was advised. Who? King Alexander. He was advised. You wanted the Garden of Eden? You have to go beyond the 7 mountains in the land of Cush. There, they will show you. Did he not come? He came. What did he say when he returned? He said, I could not have obtained the wisdom how to disperse justice until I went there. To this very one. Our African leaders, political personalities, academicians, you made them your saviors. You made them your saviors. But they are coming to you. They were coming, not that they are coming to you, they were coming to your ancestors for wisdom. Yes. They were coming. But in our lifetime, in our generation, for the past about 100 years, we bow to them. In all sincerity, that is a disgrace. If you knew what it means to be a kush, if you knew, you wouldn't dare to do that. Yeah. Continuing with the line of the Midrashim. So it is also with Israel. It's us. Whether we wanted, some of us wanted to hear it, some of us hearing me, they would say, oh, what this guy, what is he talking about? Africa? Please, not in Africa. Yes, let's look at the text. Yeah. If the sages of the previous generation recently, it's not even 300 years, it's not even a complete 200 years. If they could to send it to Africa and said, our brothers and sisters, all our brothers, not sisters, but our brothers on the side, on that side of the river Sympathion. If Rabbi Akiva could to say, you have to go there, so that they could give us halacha to apply here. Nowadays they become academic, and they bring this argument. It just no. It was not referring to Africa. No, it was referring to another place. Do you see how dangerous it is, my dear good friend? A man of pulpit lies. I'm sorry. This could be a rabbi too. Could be a bunch of rabbis too. If they could to position themselves to defend what could not be defended, if they could justify things contrary to what the text are saying, how much more those in religions created by your oppressor, who carried you into the ships across the oceans? Or do they not say, no, I have heard, the rabbis also said, like they are going around with apparently a note written by one Rabbi Keduri, Rabbi Keduri, I forgot his name. I remember in Yerushalayim, I was staying. No, I lived, not staying, but I lived closer to a yeshiva where he taught that a great sage, where he, and now the son took over. And apparently somebody saw a note, and that note, apparently there is Joshua mentioned, and that this is the note that is being circulated everywhere. He said, no, a great rabbi wrote somewhere before he passed on. and said, no, there was a Yeshua. For those who know the Hebrew, it's not like that. What is the point? The point is, when you have got people who are rooted from Bnei Israel, going contrary to what the text are saying, it's likely to be an enforcement of the other side to justify their existence. I have dwelt much more on that one. Let's go. Bishara Dishmaya. Okay. Every time that afflictions came upon them, meaning Bnei Israel, the affliction ended, and that they were standing in their place, meaning Bnei Israel. Error is stated in Proverbs. What does that Proverbs state? The wicked are overturned and there are no more. Why did you, okay, in English, why did you change from the works of the Reshaim, and now you are talking about the wicked are overturned and they are no more? Okay. Hezekiah, no, pardon me. Hezekiah, the son of Rabbi Chia said, why is this parasha next to the parasha about curses? Remember what I have just said, that we have just dealt with the parasha, particularly the chapter that deals with the curses. Can you imagine? A chapter consists of something like 69 verses. The longest chapter that contains, if I'm not mistaken, the longest chapter that has got such a longest chapter. I'm saying in the Torah. If it is in the Tanakh, the longest chapter is chapter 119 Tehillim. That goes to 150 something. Yeah. Because Israel had 100 cases, less 2 in the Pasha. We have had 100 cases, less 2. If it is less 2, then what? 98. In the Pasha, apart from the 49 which are uttered in the priestly Torah, meaning in the book of Vayikra, they immediately turned green in the face and they said, who can withstand these curses? Moses called, or Moshe called them immediately. That is in the book of Devarim, chapter 29, and the verse 1. Let me confine myself now to one language, because we have got another material to deal with or to learn from. What is written above the matter in Devarim 29? Then Moshe summoned all of Israel, and they said to them, you have seen all that the Lord did before your eyes in the land of Mitzrayim, in the land of Egypt, the great trials which your eyes saw, the signs and those great wonders. When you came unto this place, Sichon, king of Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, came unto to engage us in battle. But we defeated them. And I believe the student of Nusak Africa, Chief Rabbinate of Africa, I do not need to engage you into what these kings. So we know, all of you know. And you did not heed my voice, like most of us. We are telling us, the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, saying, listen, tradition, because you don't see Torah as a tradition. And you uttered a word before me for which you deserved destruction. Still, I did not reckon destruction upon you when it is stated in Tehillim 100, chapter 100 and pasuk 106 and pasuk 7. When your ancestors were in Mitzrayim, they did not consider your wondrous works. They did not consider the wondrous works. And not only that, but they said of the calf. In Shemot chapter 32, pasuk 4, what did they say? This is your God, O Israel. The question is, are we not doing the same thing today? Sorry, maybe that is hard to say. I mean, not hard to say, harsh, but yeah. Now, if you should say, for what reason did the other nations deserve destruction? Now it's coming. While we are remaining alive, it is because when affliction come upon them, they kick against them and do not mention the name of the Holy One, blessed be He, as stated in Tehillim chapter 79, pasuk 6, pardon me. Pour out your wrath upon the nations that have not known you, upon the kingdoms that do not invoke your name. You remember, it was just last week we were talking about what is Adam. Adam, what is Adam? Let me remind us, Adam is the name Havaya. Yeah. It's the name Havaya that culminated into Gamatria value called Sag. Ben Shrai said, only Bnei Israel. Why? Because that parallels the name Havaya. In the case of Israel, however, when afflictions came upon them, they make submit and they pray, as stated in Tehillim 116, pasuk 3 and 4. I found trouble and sorrow, but I shall invoke the name of the Lord. Do we? Or are we busy with Jesse? I'm sorry. I don't mean it offense or to offend anybody. Yeah. Therefore, the Holy One, blessed be He, said, even though the maledictions come upon you, they themselves stand you up. And so it is said in Devarim chapter 8, pasuk 16, and we will end here. In order to humble you and in order to test you, so as to benefit you in the end. Thus did Moshe said to Israel, even though your affliction come upon you, you have a standing. It is therefore stated in Devarim chapter 29, verse 9, you are standing today, all of you. Now, I want us to end there. Let's go back where we have ended. How do you see, or what else when you see the word atem? What else do you see? The word atem. Tzadikim Tzadakot on the platform is a question to us. We are learning Torah. I spend much more time explaining this and that. Now is there. Now I give 2 minutes of question or a comment, if you have one. And also in answering my question, what else do you see when you see the word atem?
Chief Rabbi, I don't understand the word atem.
Fair enough. Baruch Hashem. Thank you very much for that honest. Any other? Okay. Yeah. It says you are standing here. Not you are standing. Netzavim. Atem is a plural word. Second person. The first person is, I mean, the first, no. Yeah, the second person singular is ata. And the plural, second person plural, is atem. But if you change the letters, only 3 letters, if you change the position of these 3 letters, it reads the word emet. What is emet? That is what is translated as a truth. Is there a thing called truth on this level of existence beyond and beyond? If it is not Torah? Okay. That interpretation we have read that was just the first interpretation of that very, very word, or that very short passage. You are standing today. Another interpretation that will lead us to the end of our presentation, and we will end with Ari Kadosh on the parsha of this very week. Why did Moshe make them into pillar? Matzeva. Because they would change from one opinion to another opinion. What is a problem if I change from one opinion? From the opinion of Moshe to the opinion of Joshua. Okay, fair enough. from the opinion of Joshua to the opinion of the elders. Okay? And Joshua also made them into a pillar. What exactly did they make them? What is all this? What did they turn into pillar? Okay. It goes as follows. In Joshua chapter 24 and the Pasuk 1, Joshua assembled all the tribes of Israel at Shechem, and he summoned Israel's elders, and the commanders, magistrates and officers, and they presented Zivu themselves. Okay. And Shemuel, since they changed from his opinion to the opinion of the kings, also made them into a pillar, as is stated in Shemuel, chapter 12, verse first Shemuel, chapter 12 and verse 7. And they now stand, Hitzavu, and I will judge you. Another interpretation, you are standing today, just as today, literally, the day sometime darkens and sometime lightens. Do you understand the interpretation of the sages? So it is with you. Although you have darkness, the Holy One, blessed be He, is going to shine on you with light internal, as it is stated in Yeshayahu chapter 16, verse 19. For the Lord shall be your everlasting light. Why do you despair then? You know, the Hebrew word emunah and the bitachon. In most cases, we only say this word we use this word, many of us, not all of us, many of us. But when they are truly faced with the real situation on the ground, they can't stand. Yeah. And the situation changes. Nothing was meant to be static. We end. For the Lord shall be your everlasting light. When you all become one group, as stated in the Devarim, chapter 4, verse 4. You are all alive today. According to the universal custom, if one takes a group of reeds, will he be able to break them at one stroke? But if he takes them one by one, even an infant can break them. This is one of the dream of the chief Rabbinate of Africa. Yeah, to come, not to only one place, but together as a family, to be together as a family, to form our communities, to form a community like others who have formed communities. May it be shown in our lifetime. So also, you find that Israel was not redeemed until they became one group. It's not about being fragments here and there. It's not like if we take it globally, until Yehuda accept his brother Ephraim, forget about Geulah. Forget about Moshiach that some of you are saying, not that one is Moshiach, not that one is that. No, the Moshiach is coming now. You are running around as if as if you don't have a text. You think, well, one tribe or two tribe and a half, who can bring the Geulah? Ben Ishchai is telling us, such a leader of Israel must be able to come as a result of the unity of the two, Yehuda and Ephraim. Forget about you saying Moshiach. You are incapable of bringing Moshiach. Or Moshiach cannot come into this thing, a fragment here and there. The tension between, So also you find that Israel was not redeemed until they become one group, as is stated in Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4. In those days, at that time, says the Lord, the children of Israel, they and the children of Yehuda shall come together. Baruch Hashem. Maybe I was too fast. Yes. When they are united, they shall welcome the face of the divine presence, the Shekhinah. My brothers and sisters in this thing, Occidental nations, do yourself a favor. Yeah, do yourself a favor. Looking into the Tanakh, we are there to help. It's one of our mission, or it's aspect of our mission. Okay, having said that, now, the remaining 20 minutes, Bisharat Shmaya, we will tune to Ariya Kadosh. Please organize your question, if there's any question or comment. Any question? Any comment? Yes. Okay, Rabbi. Okay, no question. I enjoyed the remote. Baruch Hashem. Toda Rabba, Rabbi Percy. Okay. Let's go to our one of our masters teaching, the Pasha of this week, Ariya Kadosh, Nitzavim. You know, when the Torah speaks about that you are standing here today. See, the word today, this is a hint to a millennia. I mean a millennium, not a millennia, but a millennium. But also it goes beyond again, it goes beyond that. Having said that, what is the Midrash is telling us? What did you understand the message or what the Midrash is saying to us? Why would the sages, the sage could give us such a long Mishnah to learn what could be the core message? What does he want to tell us really here? Yes, we have heard. Scenarios, not scenarios, but allegories. All this point to Israel. What keeps you and I into this level of existence? Your job? Your occupation? What is it that keeps you here? What keeps me here? What keeps you here and what keeps me here is what we are going to deal with now. And this is what Arya Kadosh introduced us and said, Ki ha-mitzvah hazot asher anochi mitzavecha. Hayom lo niflet hi mimecha velo rechoka hi. For this commandment that I command you, this day, is not wondrous for you, or too far away. Many people, when they look at us, they say, no, oh, your life is too. My sincere apology, not putting some of my relatives on the spot. My acquaintances, relatives. And others, friends in different places, countries. I pass by or I stay. They see this man. No, he does not eat that. No, for him to eat that, he has to do that. To do that, he has to do this. And then they said, why are you bothering yourself? Why are you this? And try to explain it to the best of to their level. They said, no, you have chosen a very, very difficult life. They want easy life. Do you think it's only them? There are even some of us within that world called the Torah world. who are pushing others, and they are pushing them to a thing called NAMHADI laws. Didn't we just read in the Midrash where it says, when they have had 100 cases less 2, they were afraid. Yeah. So we are pushing people to the regime called the 7 NAMHADI laws. Some of us are saying, oh no, that is good for them, not the Torah. I think it's to a certain extent is yeah. It requires a really mindset, but the mindset should be based in the Torah. See how the Gedolim throughout the generation have expounded on certain verses of the Torah. Now it goes. In Sefer HaLikutim, Parasha Netzavim, Ariya Kadosh went on to say, רוצה לומר, כי הנה שני בחינות אלו של זיווג. There are 2 types of couplings, meaning the yichud. There are two different types of yichud. עושה האדם על יד המצווה, הם זיווג, אבא ואמא, וזיווג זון. The student of the Chief Rabbinate of Africa, certainly you understand the language. These are 2 types of coupling, of union, that we effect by performing the commandments. Can you imagine? For you and I to effect this coupling in those higher dimensions, it only contingent to you and I performing those commandments. What is the implication here? If this thing, this level of existence and everything else is rooted in the Torah being the blueprint of everything, the Torah consists of 613 mitzvot. You and I performing them is a guarantee of this coupling. And we will see in a few seconds what this coupling means. These are the coupling of Abba and the Ima. The Chief Rabbinate of Africa student, you must be able to immediately, when you hear the word Abba and the Ima, you know that these are the lower, not lower, but the low of two attributes called Chokhmah and the bina. Not the chokmah and not the bina. The low part of this or those structure, two structures only. That is the first that we are causing or we effect when we perform the mitzvot. And the second one, Ariya Kadosh said, the coupling or the union of Za'anpin and the Nukva. That means the first one, we are talking, the first coupling, we are talking about the first letter, Yud, and the second letter called Hey. The second coupling is between the third letter and the last letter of the name Havaya. The inyan ki hine gamken yesh bet bechinot shel mitzvah shehem mitzvot ase ve lo ta'ase velo mitzvat lo ta'ase. There are also two types of commandments. Translated as active commandment. These are the commandments that permit you to do something. Remember Shabbat, respect your elders, before your teachers, before your parents, before any elderly person, you shall stand. You shall not give, you shall not give a false witness. All that. No, pardon me. I take back. Yes? No question. No. It commands you to do something. It obligates you to do something. Not because you wanted to do it. No, it's because you were commanded to do it. But the thing that you shall not give a false witness is not falling under that. Pardon me. And the Lord Ta'aseh is translated as a passive commandment. No, these are the prohibitions. Ukiverat yadat. Emshin Lazar. It's also an abbreviation. Shemi im Yud Hei Ole Shesa. What? Shesa? Zechri or Zochri im Vav Hei Ole Ramach. What does it say? You already know. Our sages point out that the numerical value of the name plus that of the letters Yud-Hei, meaning the word Shemi, my name. Just those three letters. Shemi, and then you add the Shemi, it's a gematria value is 350. Now you add the first two letters, the Yud and the Hey. Their numerical value is 15. You add 2 to 350. It will give you what? It will give you 365 mitzvot, called the prohibitive mitzvot, meaning mitzvot that you shouldn't transgress, because they prohibit you not to perform a certain action. Including, you shall not eat that, you shall not eat this, you shall not do that. Okay. Whereas the numerical value of the word remembrance, zochri, plus that of the 2 letters, the last 2 letters of the name Havaya, or of the attribute called Havaya, Vav and Hey. If you add to the word Zichri or Zochri, 4 letters, it amounts to Ramach. What is Ramach? This is a 248. 248 mitzvot that says you do. We end. Sharat Shmaya. Horu baze ki mitzvot lo ta'aseh taluim beshnei otiot Yud Hey shehem Abba ve'ima umitzvot aseh bishnei otiot ושני או בשני אותיות ו' ה' שהם זון. By this, all of this is meant that the passive commandment are dependent upon 2 letters. Meaning the rest of the rest of 365, they are only dependent on the 2 letters. Meaning the first coupling of the first letter and the second letter, called or symbolized, signifies as Abba and the Ima. The entire existence that we call existence is a contingent to the coupling of these 2 letters. Once they cease to couple, nothing exists. But for them to keep on coupling requires you performing the mitzvah. Now the question is, who destroys the world? Who destroys things on this level of existence, including the existence itself? Yeah. Which indicate Abba and Ima. And the active commandment that we have just read are dependent on the 2 letters, Vav and Hey, which is Zer Ampin and the Nukva. The last letter Hey is called Nukva. And the verb is, and the verb is called Zer Ampin. Vehine. Ba'asot Hadam Amitzvah Gorem Sheni Zugim Ki Shenei Otiot Mitz Be'atbash Hem Yud Hey Vezivuk Above Ima Shehu Yud Hey. Behold, when a person, you and I, performs a commandment, a mitzvah, you or I effect both types of coupling. We are the one. Effect both the types of coupling. This is because the first two letters of the word for command or commandment through a system called Altbash, transform, is transformed to Yud Hey, which signifies the coupling of Abba and Ima. My dear good friend, what does the Torah say in the Ten Commandments, called the Ten Commandments? Honor your father and mother, right? But somewhere in Vaikra it says, no, fear your mother and your father. But in this case now, we are told Abba and the Ima. Vehine, pardon me. Veze naase al yadit kiyum mitzvot lotase besod shemi im yudhei sheole shasa. Kanizika, this coupling is accomplished. Kiyum, accomplished by performing or observing the negative commandment as they are being referred to, as alluded to, by the fact that the numerical value of the word my name plus that of the two letters equals 365, as stated. Last but not least, העניין, והעניין, כי שמי הם כפד, באבא אות יוד, וכסו באמה אות ה', באמה אות ה', ואם משניהם עולים בגמטריה שמי. The matter is, the numerical value of the word for my name is that of regressive irritation of. Okay, this is requires more time to explain, but it's not really complicated, because it's a iteration of 72 name. This is when you have got the Yud, Hey, Yud, Vav, Yud, Vav, Hey, Yud. The gematria value of that 10 letters, they will come to 72, is what it means there, which corresponded to Abba, the letter of Yud, plus the regressive iteration of Sag, name, which corresponds to Ima, and the letter Hey. This is when you have got the Yud. In Milui, you have got the Yud, and then you have got the Hey, Yud, and you have got Vav, Aleph, pardon me, Vav, Yud, Vav, Hey, Yud. The gematria value of this Miluim, it gives you Sag. Concluding, what would be our excuse? Or before excuse, what did we learn from Arya Kadosh? Make it a symbol. Arya Kadosh is giving us a picture, or drawing us a picture, that Bnei Israel performing in a mitzvah is the first priority. Maybe the word priority is even a cheap word to explain. Or takes a presidency, yeah, that's the right word. Takes a presidency over anything. Because if you, Chash v'Shalom, we make it the Torah, performing of mitzvot, secondary, the opposite of what the Arya Kadosh has taught, will be the result. Chash v'Shalom. That means lexing, I don't have time to perform the mitzvot. I am saying, Abba and the Ima, I don't honor you. Abba and the Ima, deal with your own world. But if that is the message, that means I'm also nullifying myself, meaning I'm destroying myself, Chash v'Shalom. My master used to say, if you wanted to destroy people, bring them to violate the 13 mitzvot that are prohibited to do on Shabbat. I do not want to lead lead us into what I was thinking of bringing it to us. What is also hidden behind the numbers 365. According to Arya Kadosh, particularly in Shiri Hashirim. Remember the word Shir Hashirim, the song, the same letters of the word Yashar. Not performing mitzvot is a distraction, not only the distraction of things that you perhaps have got in mind surrounding you. It's about destroying your own soul. You are bringing a pagam, you are bringing a tuma to your own soul. Remember, the soul is so dear. Is so dear to Ein Sof. And in most cases is referred to as a daughter. Yeah. If you wanted to see the anger of a man, human being of flesh and blood, touch his children and you will see. Touch his daughter and you will see. He will forget everything else. Yeah. Okay, my dear good friend. Yeah, I think we have come to the end of our limud. May I extend to give us a minute of question, comment out of what we have learned today. Any question, any comment? Okay, I guess, okay, I will give you homework. I will give us homework. Yeah. Yeah. Since we are going to next week, Bishiyata Dishmaya, Kadosh Baruch Hu, keeps us in our health, state of mind and the bodies to reach Rosh Hashanah and beyond. What is your duty now from now on? What is your duty? What would be your priority from now on? It's just a small homework, a simple one for that matter. So, Kavrim Tzadikim Tzadakot, it was a really privilege to be with you, to learn with you, for you to be my Chafrutot, Nam Yo Chavruta. Baruch Hashem, we have learned Torah. We continue to learn Torah for its own sake, not out of seeking a prestige. Our viewers, our followers, different platform. This is not about Torah. Is not about emotion. It's not about your feelings. The one who called you on this level of existence is the very one who is assigned to each one of us a responsibility and a mission. This level of existence, one of the pillars that preserve this level of existence is the word emet. Emet is not defined by my own limitation. A mate is not defined and created in a boardroom or in a cabinet or in a parliament or elsewhere. The same one who says do not murder is the very same one who said atem netzeviim. The very same one. Going back to my word, do yourself a favor. Let the truth reign, regardless who speaks it. You may not like me because you don't need it to. But you need to focus on what is written. Thank you very much, Tzadikim, Tzadakot. There we have on my screen here, I have got Rabbi Percy. Thank you for being with us. Rabbi Ike Chiku. Thank you very much for being with us. Rabbinate Nadesh and Rabbinate Natalia. Thank you very much for being with us. And everyone I did not perhaps mention the name, please do not feel bad that I did not mention your name. Your being here to learn Torah is what matters. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen ve'amen, B'shirat Shemaya. I wish each one of us Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.
Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. תודה רבה לכם.
Amen.